14 new rules for writing a book that changes the world. Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace, and here's a really quick introduction to the next cohort we have, which is on the 17th of July, 2021. This is a private 30-day publishing course and cohort for those of you writing nonfiction books or trying to build a brand or business from the book that you want to write. So here are the quick modules. If you want to sign up for the waiting list, you can do that at the link below. Module number 1 is the world is already telling you the exact book that you need to write. And in this module, we just look at some of the really, the ways in which you can data mine questions that people in your ideal audience or your quintessential client may already be asking about what it is that you know, where your experiences and your expertise already dovetail perfectly in the exact book that you can write that truly will not only change the world, but transform your brand and business as well. And again, it's not hyperbolic to say changing the world. I really believe that if you have passion and a sense of purpose and a mission that is oriented around doing work that is meaningful for a specific audience, that helps them, heals them, or offers them hope or some sort of rock star result, for lack of a better euphemism, I really do believe that is life and world-changing work. Number 2, the module is your book is a bridge. This is really super critical to our process. A bridge book introduces an idea that invites or inspires an experience. And at the core of this notion is that you inspire people with words, or you may inspire people with words, but you really truly transform people through offering an experience. And we cover much more about this in the cohort and in some of the content that you'll get when you sign up. Number 3, you know more than you know. And essentially what we do is we use a process called a content cornerstone to data dump everything that you know in a very siloed and structured way. Number 4, the procrastinator's paradox: commit to more than one. This seems very paradoxical if you've procrastinated at publishing your first book, but it's easier if you commit to more than one book to get the first one done, right? That sounds crazy, but it's 100% true. And it's because you're offloading some of the pressure and overwhelm that comes with trying to squeeze everything you know into a single book. All right. Your objective is not what you think it is. And again, this comes back to the bridge book notion. This is module number 5, I believe. And essentially we cover why so many people play silly games to win stupid prizes when it comes to writing a book. And those stupid prizes are usually ego and artificially animated by dint of wanting to, say, I've got a best-selling book because you're published in some obscure category, or, a bunch of people downloaded your book in week number 1 and you can claim bestseller status, but your book doesn't really build your business. It doesn't transform your brand. It doesn't really help a lot of people. It just gives you sort of bragging rights to say you wrote a best-selling book. Number 6, you need a hook, and your book should be you need what we call a billboard bullhorn, which is essentially a hook, right? And the hook is really, really easy to write when you templatize it, like, what if I were to tell you that ... What if I were to tell you that this simple plant medicine ceremony would be the equivalent of 20 years of psychotherapy in a single night? Or what if I were to tell you that the foods in your fridge are making you fat, bloated, and unhappy or depressed? Essentially, you need to create something that is memorable, unique, and that draws people in. It doesn't have to be cheesy. It doesn't have to be bullshitty. It can be very authentic, very real, and align itself perfectly with what it is that you are conveying in the book. As a matter of fact, it should actually do that. And in this module, we cover all the various kind of teaser questions that draw out your specific hook that will animate your book. Again, I think I covered this a little bit before, but your outline is the enemy, and the antithesis of the endless outline is, again, what we call the content cornerstone. People think that that they're focused, right? And they are focused on this outline. And essentially the way we kind of tweak this notion is you don't want to be fiercely focused. I hear so many authors tell me how focused they are. Instead, you want to be finitely focused. You want to have a very clear boundary around what it is that's in your book, right? And we cover this using this content cornerstone, which silos your content in very cool and creative ways. You need a transformation turnstile. This is the gated or sacred space that you protect, that you can, this is the end experience that you offer that gives people a rock star result. It has a before and after moment. So for an example, when we're working with authors, our transformation turnstile or the before and after moment is before they came into our universe as a agency, they struggle to write a book. After they've come into our orbit or a community cohort, they've published their first book, right? So there's a rock star result that lies on the other side of the divide, and you need to create one of these yourself. We cover this in a lot of detail. It's very easy, it's very exciting, and it's very, very powerful insofar as transforming the way you think about the book that you're writing and the offer that ultimately you are putting out into the world in the book itself or in your practice, whatever that practice may be, whatever that business is. You need, as well as a transformation turnstile, you also need what we call a transformation trigger. This is the eureka insight, the epiphany, the aha moment. You need some sort of paradigm busting, perspective shaking, unique thing that will get people reconsidering the problem that they have and looking to solve it through the perspective of what you offer relative to everything they've tried up to this point. And there are many, many different ways of doing this. We cover this in the cohort as well. You can get it done far faster than you know. This is module number 11, it looks like. I don't itemize these or number these when I do these audios, which is really a stupid preparation decision, because I'm always losing track of where I am. But you can get it done far faster than you know. You can write a book, a hook book, or a bridge book much more quickly than you can even conceptualize. Pretty much everyone who goes through our 30-day cohort in July should be able to have their book done and live by the end of the 30 days. We're going to actually demonstrate that with a real book. You'll see it being written. And if you're interested in having a book published, that's a quality book that actually builds your brand, there's no issue in doing that yourself, and we'll prove it to you in this cohort. And you can productize your book, your blog, and your brand, and ultimately your business, by the way, with super speed, right? And a productized book simply means that you put in systems that allow the content in your book, or you put in templates or frameworks that allow your book to serve as the backbone for courses, for community, for even coaching, and that kind of remove you from the equation in some way. So, as an author, most people think that they have to they're trading their time for income. And even if you're writing a book that sells a service, let's say a coaching service, people still find themselves trapped in this kind of weird mathematical equation, which means that every hour that you're getting paid, you have to be present for. And what we recommend instead is a productized platform, which is turning your book into a course or into a community and offloading some of the responsibility to the systems and structure that will allow you to step back a little bit and allow your audience, your quintessential clients, the people who are trusting you to have this transformation, that they can get that through cohorts, through community, through courses, through coaching, through conversation between themselves and each other, right? The folks who are participating in each cohort, just the way we do it, offer a tremendous amount of value. So, to each other. So these are all things that we incorporate into our process for publishing a bridge book, a hook book, and building your brand using this particular approach. Okie doke. So if you're interested in joining us, I'll have a link that you can sign up for our next July cohort. It's a 30-day publishing process that if you're serious about writing a book that changes the world and changes your life, I promise you'll be able to do that with us over a 30-day period, as well as watching others, your peers, doing the same thing, which is really great for self-confidence. A pro-social, gentle accountability piece is a really important part of our process, and I think that you will find that exceptionally helpful on your journey. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. Thank you so much for listening. If you have questions, send me an email personally, mindfulmarketplace@gmail.com. You can connect with me personally on Twitter. At Ian Hollander is my Twitter username. Or if you are listening to this on YouTube, where it gets automatically published via our podcast host, feel free to leave me a comment, and I'm happy to advise or help as is needed. Thanks so much again, and as always, have a wonderful night.